Hi, so I'm Jeremy from Attest. I'm a former geneticist, former management consultant, and what I was happy to talk about is market research. It's sort of that feeling of pain that you get when you hear about market research. You think it's very slow, it's very expensive. It doesn't reach the people you really care about. But yet we all want to use it more. We just saw that every single person in this room basically wants to use data more, wants to know more about customers. But the existing market that does this simply doesn't do it for you in the way that you want to, I feel. So we compete with Kantar, Nielsen, Ipsos, TNS, those kinds of guys. And whenever we speak with anyone, particularly retailers and FMCGs, they seem to have the same complaints. It's far too slow to set up. It's very labor intensive. You don't really believe in it when you receive it. And it doesn't reach your real customers. It comes from people, but not your real customers that you're trying to reach. So we set about a year ago to create something new, modern market research, a new way of doing consumer insights that works for everybody, whenever you want it. You shouldn't have to wait a month, 2 months for research to come back to you. You should be able to do it every week, every day, every meeting, get it in an hour. Test 20 ideas in parallel. Know that 5 work, know that half of them don't. Find out what would make the middle ones slightly better. So we built this platform, and it's called Attest, to do exactly that. We have a business that has 3 parts. One is for retailers, innovators, product designers, pricers, marketers, people working on direct mail campaigns, anything, to input questions, request an interaction with respondents, decide exactly who it goes to, and then receive results in real time and analyze it like Tableau, very visual. We build it in a way that almost anyone can see it. Anyone can believe it almost instantly. The second part we need to fix about market research was respondents. It's very easy to get people who are unemployed, students, have a lot of spare time on their hands, but it's hard to get you. How do we get you? How do we get the people who are very busy? You don't have a lot of spare time. Who in the last 2 weeks has actually participated in any market research? I have. 1, 2, 3, okay, not many. So how do we get you? I think we need to make it far more convenient, far less invasive. It needs to work for you. 2 minutes in a coffee queue, 17 minutes in a cab ride. There's little blocks of spare time. That's how we get you. And there are so many brands, retail brands, FMCG brands out there that want to know about you, but they can't reach you. So we solved that problem too. The third part of our business is basically an exchange that links those things together. So we built a platform where you can do this all the time. You can see these results arriving live. You choose exactly who it goes to. You can then click around. So on this one, we've been asking about the Team GB athletes that you associate with the Asda Walmart catchphrase. This one's just for fun. And you can see that male people are slightly lower on Mo Farah and slightly higher on Tom Daley. You can play around with this. You can run it by household size, women in number of children in household, genders, earnings bands, all sorts of things. Because often we find that what you want to do when you receive results from consumer insights work and research is to sort of search for the insights within. So we give you the power to surface it. And we make it so that you don't have to know how to do pivot tables. You don't have to know how to use Excel. You don't have to upload it. You just analyze it here in the browser. So you can find exactly what you're looking for and find the little secret pieces within very, very quickly. Better engagement equals better data. So we built this platform so that you can get the respondents you really want. They do this not like SurveyMonkey or not like Kantar, where it feels like work. They do it because they want to. We show them what happens with the products and campaigns they create. They want to do it because they believe in what they're doing. This is how we get, in short blocks of time, people like you to interact. Here's a couple of brands that we work with. We work with Fever-Tree, the tonic water company, and Deliveroo. They seem to like what we're doing. What we're trying to deliver is you the ability to do, and this is a direct quote from Unilever, do 10 times more insights at twice the speed and half the cost. That's what I think that all retailers, FMCGs want to do, and we're the company that's doing that for you. I'm going to hold you to ransom very slightly. If you vote for us to win today, I will show you the results about some research we did on Theresa May's choice of footwear. Thanks very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Dave Brown. I'm from DriftRock, which is a full lifecycle social advertising platform. We're a Facebook marketing partner. I think everyone would agree that the digital marketing landscape has changed quite significantly over the past few years. What everything used to be about was big media, massive audiences, spray and pray targeting, and how big your cookie pool was. As a result, what we ended up with was people being followed around the internet by sheds or any other form of product that people were no longer interested in because they've already bought on a different device or offline. So what's actually changed? Well, now we have a platform like Facebook where nearly 1 billion people are logging in every single day, on average 14 times a day, with 1 in 4 mobile minutes spent across Facebook and Instagram in the UK. And what these platforms know about you is they know who you are, where you are, and what device you're on. So this means that marketers can use deterministic data to enable one-to-one marketing. Therefore, there's no excuses for not using relevant or producing relevant and useful adverts. Everyone in this room is sitting on an absolute goldmine of first-party data. So let's imagine a world where you can take that data and instead of bashing people around the head with products that they no longer need or want, you can use your existing knowledge and find the people that look like your existing customers and then speak to them on a platform where they're already hanging out. Rebel Ape is a fake but cool and disruptive clothing brand that's doing exactly that. And they've taken essentially their existing male customers who have already purchased footwear, uploaded that data securely onto Facebook, and then created a lookalike around those customers. From there, we found this particular chap called Stephen, who falls into that audience, and like you and I, knows absolutely nothing about Rebel Ape. So what we do is we show him a video ad, and he watches 75% of that video. Now, we can ascertain 2 things from this. One is that there's some significant interest from Stephen in the brand, and second, that we shouldn't show him this video again. Instead, perhaps when he's on his way to work, he walks past Oxford Street and our store, which is located here. Not a real location, obviously. Rather than show him that video, we show him live stock of what's actually in that store. So we show him footwear because we think that's what he's going to be interested in. So it's relevant and it's useful. Instead of going straight home after work, Stephen pops into store and buys a brand new pair of Rebel Ape boots. And because at the till we capture his email address and email his receipt to him, we can upload that data back onto Facebook and put him into an exclusion audience. So maybe a couple of weeks later, he hasn't heard anything from Rebel Ape, but he's at home, he's enjoying life in his boots, but unfortunately it's raining and he can't go outside and use them. So then we send a contextual message that says, Steve, don't get caught out in the rain, buy some jackets from us. He goes online, buys a jacket, happy days, what a legend. So now he's a very valuable customer to us because he's bought twice in quite a short space of time. So what we want to do is find more Stephens. So now we have a Stephen who's very valuable and people like him. Now all of this is hard to do, and we've come 360, and that's the beauty of full life cycle social advertising. And this is all really hard to do, but it's very important because digital people-based marketing is going to affect the way people interact online and in stores. And while it might be difficult, DriftRock makes it easy because we essentially plug into your CRM system and combine first-party data with real-world data to activate social campaigns to reach the right people in the right way in the perfect moment, making social advertising something that people actually want to see. That's pretty much it from me. I've got 30 seconds left, so I won't gab on, but I'm here with my colleague Richard. That's my face and his face. If you want to come and have a chat with us, please do. We'd be happy to tell you more about DriftRock. Thanks very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Hi everyone, I'm Ivan Mazur. I'm the CEO and founder of Emetria, and for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about a chasm that exists between the expectations of today's consumer and the ability of retailers to deliver them the experience that they want. But first, let's start with an example. This is Jess. Jess loves fashion. She's very specific about the designers that she likes, the styles that she wears, and what Jess really wants right now is an evening dress. And let's say hypothetically that we're all running here a fashion retailer, that Jess is one of our most typical customers, and that she keeps coming to our website to try and find that perfect one. Now, let's say it's Monday, and we are determining the marketing plan for the week. And what we've decided is that this week we're going to promote shoes. Why? data. After all, that's what we're here to talk about today. We've looked at what sold well this time last year. We've looked at what's selling well right now, what's trending. We have decided that shoes are what's going to maximize sales for us right now. So, sure enough, on Tuesday, we send out a campaign. It's Tuesday, Shoes Day. And it's great because people are looking at it, they're opening, they're clicking, they're buying. The sales are rolling in. So we've succeeded, right? Well, almost, because what about Jess? Jess wasn't looking for shoes. So sure, she opened it, she liked a few things at the top there, but overall she thought, meh. Much worse than that though. Not only did she not buy, she was left with this feeling that our store wasn't quite right for her, that our brand didn't really get her. There is perhaps nothing more alienating than treating your most loyal customers like strangers on the subway. So there has to be another way. This can't continue. What if you knew every single one of your customers' interests? What if every single message you ever sent them took into account and personally tailored it based on that knowledge? What if Jess received the message that happened to have that perfect evening dress? But much more than that. What if every message Jess ever received took into account all the interactions she'd ever had with your brand? Maybe she'd sign up for your email newsletter. Her welcome campaign would take into account where she came from, how she discovered you. Maybe she keeps coming to your website looking at the same category over and over again, evening dresses. The messages would help her find and buy the perfect one. Maybe she's already bought that evening dress in your store. Well, she certainly shouldn't be promoted that same product through any of your digital channels. And on the subject of digital channels, Jess is expecting a unified experience across all of them. Facebook, Google, email, Instagram, Pinterest, all of them combined. Jess is expecting to be treated like the loyal customer that she is. This, we believe, this is how retail marketing should be done. However, it's not. So why isn't it? It turns out there are 3 specific obstacles that prevent retailers from doing this right now. The first is customer data. It is the topic of this competition and of the panel that preceded it. Customer data sits into too many different platforms. You'll have an e-commerce platform with your transactions, an ERP with your returns, point of sale systems with offline purchases, web analytics tools with web data, email service providers with email data, Excel spreadsheets everywhere trying to tie it all together. What doesn't exist is a true single customer view, a single place you can come to understand each one of your customers. But that's only the first obstacle, because actually once you get your single customer view, a realization suddenly dawns. Data is not in itself useful or valuable. How do you work out what to do with it? There is so much of it. How do you work out a strategy that can help your business? But it turns out that even that obstacle is not in itself enough. Let's say we have a strategy based on that data. If acting on that strategy requires doing more work, it'll simply never get done. It will get deprioritized. We work with retailers with a couple of people on their team. We work with retailers with thousands of people on their team. What we know is not a single one has some free time to do more work. There are many platforms that produce customer insight and that can export it, can make it actionable. We had all of that. We tried all of that. In reality, we found that retailers that you are far too busy. So the only way to make this successful is to put the customer data into the hands of the person who is tasked with taking action all day, every day, to put the data into the hands of the marketer. But not only that, to make sure that it takes work away from them, not gives them more work to do. So that is why we built the world's only combined customer insight and cross-channel marketing platform that is built for retail, exclusively for retail, only for retail. That is why we directly drive, if I can click, I directly drive increased revenue, we directly drive increased repeat purchase rate, we directly drive a tangible, valid ROI for each one of the retailers that we work with. And that's why we do it without giving them any more work to do. And we even make their customers happier along the way. Thank you for listening. We are Emetria.